and gentlemen, let's go.
Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at?
Well, actually, I live in Delaware now, so does that make me a Delawarean?
Singing girl.
You know, Beyonce is my friend in my head. Jay my people sometimes, too.
Yeah. I mean, like, be true, man.
You know, when I was a kid, I had an imaginary enemy. Like, does that make me crazy?
Life as P, presented by Say What Radio.
Hey guys, welcome back to Life is P. I'm your host, Phoenix Ash. If this is your first time joining me, thank you. Welcome. I'm so glad you decided to pop on in. If this is not your first time and you've listened to me before and you've decided to come back, I love you. You know I do. Anyhow, on the music front, I don't really think I have anything. But I do have like a theme, right? So like conversations. Sometimes I talk about the theme in which the conversations I've been having over the course of the past couple of days. So what I've recognized as and listen, this is probably a theme in conversation on a regular basis, if I gotta be honest with you, but it's putting people on ice. Now, listen, let me tell you, I've been put on ice so many times that it doesn't even bother me anymore. It used to be a huge deal when someone put me on ice, and now I'm just like, they'll get over it. And maybe you don't know what I mean by like put someone on ice. It's like whatever's happening between the two of you, whether it be tension in an exchange or somebody's just being too much or not enough. It's like back in the day, we used to be like, oh, you know, I just fall back. So it's like to put someone on ice is like, I'm not necessarily cutting you off, but like chill for a second. Like, let me back away. Let me give you your time and space or take time and space of my own so that whatever is happening in this exchange, I can slow it down or stop it before it goes too far or whatever. So yeah, people love putting me on ice. I don't even know if it's necessarily, sometimes it's because of something I said, right? But the thing is, tell me what I said. Like, if you're going to put me on ice, at least like notify me. Like, I don't know, send me something in the mail, an email, text message, like, I can't with you right now because something. I feel like, I told you last show, like, I feel like you asshole if you go like straight silent, right? And then you pop up. And I've had people do that to me, like straight not talk to me for years. I'm talking 3-4 years and then be like, hey girl, what? And you, depending on where I am or depending on who you were for me, I may or may not respond. Like, I'm not clear cut, guys. I wish I could say I was clear cut. Maybe no, I don't wish that, but I'm not clear cut. I'm not like, what? You don't need to respond. I've had someone who stopped talking to me, never told me why. And then maybe like a year and a half later, 2 years, sends me an email like, I need help with this cover letter. And it was so random and it was so like, no, hey, how are you doing? It was kind of like maybe they were under the impression that they had been talking to me. I don't know. This is somebody that I used to talk to like daily. And I was like, what? So like my sister-in-law was like, you gonna help? And I just was like, you know what? Yeah, because I don't have an issue. I'm not real good on reading other people's minds. And so I'm not sure why they stopped talking to me. I know my mouth and how slick I can be and how offensive it can sometimes be received. So I'm just going to bank on that's probably what the issue was. But, you know, I don't have an issue. So you need help and I'm the helping type. And this is not going to do. And this is before I did this as a business. Because sure enough, right now, if this was to happen, I would be like, and what's your budget? So I just responded and was like, listen, I'm not going to write this letter for you. But if you write a letter and you send it to me, I will edit it so that it's appropriate or whatever. And so that's what happened. They sent it to me. I fixed it up, sent it back. And then they didn't talk to me for like another 2 years. Straight played me. But you know what? I guess I didn't feel like I was played because I didn't care. I don't want to say I didn't care because I care about the person, but I just had too much going on in my life to be neither here nor there about what was going on inside their mind and their emotions. And I was like, if it's not important enough to them to tell me what I did wrong and to give me the opportunity to correct it or at least have some type of reaction or explanation or to come to a place of acceptance, then I'm just going to come to a place of acceptance. Like, I'm going to pick the reaction. Like, there's no A, B, or C on this. I'm just going to pick it. I'm going to accept it. I'm going to move on. Because some people, like, they put you on ice. And, you know, baby fathers is good for this. Boyfriends, girlfriends, like relationships like that, those intimate relationships is good for this. But like they put you on ice, then they get mad at the options you have for responding. Like you can A, give them the same crap attitude that they're giving you. Oh, they don't like that one. Oh my God, no, they don't like that one. Or you could B, choose to walk away from them for good. So they think you on ice. They think you chilling. They think that there's some get back. And you're like, no, I'm done. Oh, no. That don't sit right either. No. Or C, you come to a place of acceptance and you're not running behind them begging to find out what you did wrong. They don't like that either. So I'm like, well, if you don't like none of the options, then, you know, whatever. I'm just going to give you whichever one I pick because I'm good with all of them. I am. Like, I'm an only child. Like, I have a little sister, but like my little sister is eons younger than me. And I think we talked about this before. Like, I was raised by my aunt. So I have no siblings from my mother and father, at least not that I know of from my father. I don't know. I don't think I have additional siblings. So by the time my little sister was born, or who I call my little sister is actually my cousin, I was a grown woman. So basically, I don't really have siblings like within my age category or whatever. And so I've always felt alone. I was picked on a lot when I was in junior high school for being so fair-skinned and having light eyes and long hair. And it was at a time where people who didn't have light skin, light eyes, and long hair were trying to figure out how to love themselves, but they didn't know how to do it without hating what I represented. And in turn, that meant hating me. So I think Egypt, just on her Instagram a couple weeks ago or last week or something, addressed this as well, the colorism. And so I was picked on a lot, and then it didn't help that I was in a smart class and I had a very smart mouth. And I might have wanted to throw them hands a time or two. So like I gave you what you wanted. But anyhow, then, like, I was brought up, if you've read Long Neck Bottles, you've kind of got a hint of the kind of environment that I was brought up in when I was growing up. My aunt's first husband was pretty emotionally abusive towards me. So it was like I was getting picked on at school. I was getting picked on at home. So I felt alone a lot. I didn't have a lot of cousins in my age group. And the cousins that I did have that were like 2 years younger than me were going through their own drama with their mother passing. So it was just a very lonely time for me. So as an adult, I feel like I'm always prepared for people to cut me off. Like emotionally, I'm always emotionally prepared for people to cut me off. I'm always at a place of acceptance. If you choose to cut me off, I will accept it. I will not run behind you. I will not cry. I will not. It may hurt my feelings. I might cry. I might give you some tears. I don't know. It depends on who you are. But like, I won't run behind you. I won't beg you. I may make one phone call, maybe two. But if you ignore me and stuff, like, I'm just always prepared because I was alone a lot. I had a lot of time by myself. Friends a lot of them were not real friends. And so, you know, when you find that out, you get to a place of loneliness. And the ones that I did have didn't want to come over because my uncle was such a terror and it just made everyone feel uncomfortable. And so they didn't want to come over. So I spent the night at their house, but then didn't want to do that too often because, you know, you don't want to be a burden on them and their family. And so just kind of feeling displaced a lot as a child. So as an adult, where I'm not worried about that. That doesn't scare me. Being alone doesn't scare me. I'm thankful that I've been with my husband for a long, long, long time, and he gets me and he understands me. He's very much my friend. Between him and my daughter, I receive a lot of love. But like, even when he's mad at me, and I feel alone, like, it's not terrifying for me. It's not. And I don't know if that's good or bad. I suppose it has its plus signs, but I suppose in terms of how it relates to my attitude at times, it probably has some negative impacts on relationships. But that's just what it is. But people love to put me on ice. And I'm like... But I'm a good friend. So like a lot of times we end up being friends again later because they're like, you know, girl, I miss you, or like, you really were a good friend. And I'm like, thank you. And I won't even like ask you what I did wrong because I'm like, you're not bringing it up. You like, this is something that either you refuse to resolve or you've resolved within yourself. So why am I hash that mess up? I'm not hashing it up. Hey, you want to move on? I want to move on too, because I don't even know what happened right there. So I'm just like, hey, it is what it is. You know, there are people in not just my past, but in my husband's past who feel like they can only engage on a surface level. Like they'll like my Instagram pictures or like my Facebook posts, but like decide that they don't want to call me or hang out with me or invite me to stuff. Honestly, I'm good with that. I am. Like, I'm so not in the place of taking inventory of who I need to cut off, because I feel like sometimes you do that stuff yourself. And I honestly don't have a bunch of people in my life who speak negativity into my life. So yeah, if you're not like speaking negativity into my life, I'm kind of like, okay. And I mean, yeah, you got negative vibes, but if you're going to keep your distance, then I don't feel the vibe. Whatever, you hold that. Because there are enough people with positive vibes who do engage and who do offer their love and support, their ear, their shoulder. And then I have like a couple of friends who call me on my BS, who be like, girl, what you doing? No, I don't agree with that. No, I don't understand that. That doesn't make sense to me. I have one friend who constantly tells me I act old. She's like, you're so old. Why do you act like you don't understand technology? And I'm like, where is she getting this information from? I'm not acting. What? But, you know, I love those friends who can speak freely and will allow me to speak freely without catching some emotional heart attack and feel like they can't fool with me no more because I'm not who they want me to be. So yeah, people like keep putting me on my ice, like, child, like back in the day, I feel like I don't even really know if I really put people on ice, because back in the day, like I just cut you off because I'm good with being alone. So I'm kind of like, I ain't gotta talk to you. I'm good. Whatever. If I like really feel bad about what I did or what I said, or that our separation of friendship is my fault, I will double back and be like, you know what? I was dumb. I was an ass. That was wrong of me. I apologize. And, you know, I want to hash some stuff out. I have a friend who I talk to every day. She is my boo, but like we went through a period, we met as children and we went through a period of time. We didn't talk for, I don't know, it had to be at least 8 years. And funny thing is, I was looking for her and she was looking for me. And it wasn't even like we had a fallout or argument and I did something and she didn't. I just think we were at different places. Our conversations were tense. They weren't offensive all the way, but they were tense. And so I think we just kind of like drifted apart. And then like for years, we were both looking for each other, you know, old fogies looking for each other because we can't figure out how to use this technology to locate each other. And so we finally did. And we've like talked almost every day since then. So, I mean, like I said, like people will put me on ice, and sometimes, depending on who you were for me, I'm good with rekindling a friendship. But there are some people who think they putting me on ice and it's really done for me. I'm good. I'm just going to walk away from the situation, particularly when I work so hard to be mature about stuff, because it is hard work to be mature. It's so easy to be petty. It's so easy to throw up your middle finger. It's so easy to be like, F you, get the F out of it. Like, it's so easy. It's easy for me. It's so easy. I be wanting to let them words fly. Listen, if I'm really honest, I be wanting to let these hands fly. I sure do. But, you know, I have some awareness about myself and about my situation and about situations that I don't want to be in, because if I let these hands fly, they're not going to stop until it's like really like there needs to be some kind of action afterwards. And so that's not good. I'm somebody's mom. I can't be acting. I know there's people who got kids who will be wild like that, but I can't do that. My child can't see me as that person. That's not what I want her to grow up with. So yeah, like sometimes that ice just be crushed for me because I just be like, done. And sometimes I don't even know if that's where I'm at. It's not until they try to get back or try to rekindle some type of relationship that I'm just like, I think I'm done with this. And sometimes, it gets rekindled, but it's just different. It's different. And honestly, that's where my hurt comes in. So it's different because I'm hurt that you just cut me off or put me to the side without discussing what it was. So it might be something that I could correct. It might be something that I would apologize for, but you don't give me the opportunity to do that. That hurts my feelings. Or like if I say that my feelings are hurt and you feel like I'm nitpicking or that I'm just being too sensitive and you can't deal with all my sensitivity, and you just leave me alone and just let me stir in my emotions, that hurts. So rekindling looks different. It looks different. If we can rekindle, it looks very different, because not only do I try so hard to be mature, try so hard to think logically, I've been taught that I'm the problem. Like as a child, I was growing up, I've always been told that I'm the problem. So as an adult, I'm super aware of my flaws. And so I work hard against those flaws and like, okay, is this me? Let me think about it. Maybe I need to come from a different perspective. Maybe I need to say things in a different way. So when I'm working that hard and someone doesn't give me the opportunity to put that into play, like that hurts, because I'm like, I'm only working this hard because I care about you. I am super aware of how much other people do for me. So I'm always trying to find a way to say thank you. Always. Whatever I can do for you, if it's going out of my way, if it's connecting you to someone else, if it's referring you for a job, if it's letting you know the opportunities you're interested are available, whatever it is. If it's just saying thank you, sending blessings your way, keeping you in my prayers. I try very hard to acknowledge people who do things for me because I understand that you don't have to. Like, that's a given. You never have to tell me I don't have to do blah, blah, blah. I know you don't have to do it. And I am always thankful where people give from their heart, or even when they give out of what they think is obligation, because just to feel obligated means that you're connected to me in some sort of way. You're not obligated. But if you feel that there's an obligation, that I'm appreciative of, because that means for something in you is connected to me, that you feel like you need to do this for me or whatever. And I am a big proponent of that because I feel obligated to do a lot of things. And one of my obligations is to say thank you. And it's to show love to people who show me love. And a lot of times I show love up front. Sometimes I think, you don't receive it and I kind of accept it. Well, I gave love. I never regret showing love. I never regret giving love, because if you don't give it back to me, the universe finds its way back. The universe, whatever I feed, the universe is going to shower back down on me, which is what I talk about in long neck bottles. So I don't regret giving love, because love is going to be showered on me one way or another because I keep giving it. So, but yeah, people will put me on ice. I'm probably on a few people's ice list right now. And I can't tell you what the outcome's going to be. I can't tell you if I'm going to be receptive to, making up. I can't tell you if I'm going to be receptive to making up without a discussion or without, addressing some stuff. I can't tell you if I'm going to walk away, if I'm going to give them the same crap attitude they're giving me. I don't know. I can't call it. And that's the thing about putting somebody on ice. You can't call their reaction. Like when you try to put somebody on ice, it's like there's a power that you assume that you have. Like, you know what? Yo, you need to be on ice. Understand that the person you putting on ice possesses that power too. They do. So before you go, yo, this person got to chill. Think it through. Think it through. What are the outcomes? And am I okay with these different outcomes? Because this might need to be something that I go ahead and discuss so that we could get past and get through. I might need to understand some specifics that I don't really get. But think it through. Think it through. Because I know for me, like I said, you know, I'm super appreciative of the people that's around me, but it takes so much emotional work for me to not be off the chain that sometimes I just be like, you know, I might with the silence because it gives me an emotional break. Because sometimes I feel like I'm in some type of emotional captivity because I do a lot of things out of obligation and to love. I'm obligated to love because I love you, and love obligates me to do certain things in my mind, right? Because I'm like, people who love you do this, they do that, or whatever. They support you, they hold your hand, they listen to whatever it is that you got to talk about. And so sometimes I'm like, well, since I'm on ice, let me exit all that stuff for a second. Let me take a break. Let me breathe. And depending on how good this breath is, I might not go back. So I just wanted to talk about that because I have a couple of friends right now too who's like, yo, I feel like this person kind of put me on ice and I'm not sure where to like go with it or what out. And I'm like, hey, it's not based on them solely. It's also based on you. Like, you know, I think where I am at this time, like I said, I might try to reach out once or twice, but once you're not receptive, I'm going to let you do what you're going to do. And however it go after that is however it go. Because loneliness is not forever for me. Like, I don't feel lonely ever anymore. I don't. I feel alone, but I never feel lonely. I never, because it doesn't irk me like that. It doesn't, like, first of all, I believe in a higher power, so always got that. And then once I had my daughter, that girl, she's like an extra rib. She just loves me so much. I love her so much. And granted, she might get to an age one day where that love looks different. But for now, it's total. It's complete. I love it. She gives me all the hugs and kisses I could ever need. My husband right now is on my good side. So, you know, I'm kind of straight. And then I have friends who, you know, the older I get, the more consistent my friends become. And maybe it's because they're maturing as well and they're older as well. And I love that. And I love that because I've grown into someone who's willing to help you build your business, build your dream, chase your passion, that I have people in my life who are thankful and feel obligated, I guess, to turn that back around and put that into me. And so I have that. And then like writing, for me, writing is a companion. It is like I can run away, I can hide, I can confide all my feelings in a piece of work. And I love that. It is my companion. And I would like urge you to think about your passion. Like, is your passion your companion? It can be. It can be, because chasing it, fulfilling it, and sometimes that's a thing that separates you from everyone else. But, you know, we all have to figure out how to manage what we're willing to do with or without, or who we're willing to do with or without. Like I said, there's some people who put me on ice, and when they come back, I'm like, okay, cool. All right, we could do this. And then there's some people that I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm good, love, enjoy. You know, but has somebody put you on ice? Like, do you know what to do with it? Do you have a clear cut, this is what I do when people put me on ice, or there is no ice for me, is cut off or engage? I don't know. Tell me, what do you do? How do you handle it? Do you have advice for me? Am I going about this wrong? Like doing by case scenario? Is that bad for me? Is that too much work for my emotional weight? Like, you know, am I going to run out of capacity in my budget, in my mental budget? Because it does take a lot of mental space to be able to compartmentalize these things. So tell me, what's up? Get at me at P Writes on Twitter or at P Writes on Instagram. I truly believe I'm Life is P Knows It on Snapchat. I'm very close to believing that's who I am. You know what? If you find out who I am and that's not it, please hit me up on Twitter at P Writes, on Instagram at P Writes. Let me know, girl, that ain't who you are. I found you, but this This is who you are. I'm going to love you for life. You do that. Anyhow, I thank you so much for sharing your time with me. Please pick up my book, Long Neck Bottles. It's available on Amazon as well as Kindle. I'm thinking about releasing it as an audiobook, so stay tuned for that. In Her Makeup, my first novel, it's my baby. Thank you so much to all the people who have purchased it on Amazon and Kindle. It is still available. I'm so thankful to have good friends who helped me with the cover. I love my friends. I'm telling you, like, this exchange, this life, when you're seeking and you're surrounding yourself by other people who are seeking and pursuing, it bears fruit. It does. So thank you. Please, again, pick up In Her Makeup, available on Amazon and Kindle, as well as Long Neck Bottles, available on Amazon and Kindle. And if you like poetry, pick up my book, Avenue Song. It's available on Amazon. I thank you so much for all the time that we spend together. Until next week, when we can do lunch. Love ya.